So, when you go live, you forget that there are somebody. We always think there are only 3, 4.
No, that is okay. Thinking like that is fine.
Because our questions are all around we 3, 4 people. We don't know the background of that live people. In that case, we can also align ourselves.
No, it is okay. Absolutely fine.
Yeah.
So how many people are live, joining live? I have subscribed to that channel. So.
6, 7 people will be there, Lata.
Okay.
And they are all who are known to me. Either my sister will be there, or there is one family who joins. So another 2, 3 people whom I know.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Hi, Srihari, morning.
Morning, Ras. Morning, Srihari.
Srihari started joining this session. He stopped the live session.
No, he used to join on YouTube.
Oh, he used to join YouTube, huh? Okay.
Yeah, because
I was joining YouTube.
Yeah,
that is a professional way of joining.
No. His wife, I think she's doing some yoga or something like that, and he has to take care of his children and something he was telling me.
Okay.
I said, okay, why complicate yourself? You can attend from wherever you want.
Yes.
And then he started joining here. I felt very happy. How is your family doing, Srihari? All okay?
Yeah, all okay. Yeah, yes.
Good.
Yeah, just that morning times are very, very tough. Kids need attention. When they will do the things on their own, maybe it will take a little more time.
Yes.
It's a challenge.
Correct.
But actually, this is the time is fantastic in life. Now I realized. Small children, no? There is nothing like that.
Okay, so let's begin. So I thought let me go through the Viveka Chudamani, and then after 30-40 minutes we can come to Bhagavad Gita 10th chapter. The 10th chapter is more on Vibhuti Yoga. So the basically understanding would be that what a consciousness can do. That is the whole idea of that complete chapter. So I thought let us first understand the consciousness ourselves before we go into the Vibhuti Yoga. So let's begin our journey on that. What happened? The book also doesn't want to open. I'm clicking on that, it is not opening. Okay, the whole thing is hanging. Now I got it. Just give me a second. This morning my computer is acting really funny. It is not opening what I want. It is doing some great things for me. Strange. It's not opening any document at all.
You can restart.
Yeah, but then whole connection, everything will go away.
It is okay, na? You can connect back.
What? 1 second. This is very surprising. It was open. It had opened up. Okay, I don't know. It's very strange. Oh shit. Maybe we can discuss something else. I don't know. No, no, this is looking very funny.
Yeah, I think maybe somebody wants you to just have as a freewheeling discussion instead of going to Vedanta.
Yeah, it was very funny. It had opened and everything was looking good. Now if I click on that preview, it is not even taking me there. It is saying that it cannot open. And
Maybe you can just start discussions. You can stop it. Other side.
We have finished 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, or
yes, we finished 9.
Ninth.
No, so that is the
or
thing.
9th or what? Okay, fine.
So we were supposed to talk on the 10th one today.
Okay. So in Viveka Chudamani, which portion you want to cover? What is consciousness?
Yeah, that actually Brahman and that wherever we stopped, right from there I wanted to start.
Okay.
Now this is hanging, so I have no idea what to do. So I'm literally stuck. So you have to tell me what we should do. Because it's not opening any document for me. If I were to restart, this computer will take some time to restart because it's saying that an update is pending.
Okay.
So I don't want to take risk of restarting this thing.
Yeah, let us discuss. No, what is consciousness? What is Brahman? We have discussed it n number of times, I know, but still, we can discuss it again.
So which part you want to discuss?
Which part we want to discuss?
Because we have spoken about how to see, what to do, everything is there. 1 minute.
Yeah. We talked about the sky, we talked about the clouds, and then sky is equivalent to Brahman. All that we have spoken about.
Yes. So now it is time somebody takes over and says, today is really funny. It's saying that, okay,
today is funny.
Enough is enough. Now I will not allow you to do anything.
So from October 1st onwards, I have restarted my meditation, concentrating on my Agnya chakra between the eyebrows.
Okay.
So I'm just wondering. So somehow some instruction came. I started with this navel chakra, Manipura chakra. Then I don't know for how long I did. Then somehow it came automatically to this heart chakra. So I was doing that for a long time. So now I automatically came into this Agi chakra.
Okay.
Okay. So I don't see any of those kind of. So what I saw yesterday was the sky and the clouds. Some clouds moving, and then the sky, and then afterwards I went into the terrace. and then it is a night sky, but it is kind of dark blue or whatever that sky. So I thought I saw the same thing, the same vision only I had while I'm meditating also. So then I got reminded about what all you were instructing, but about watching the cloud, moving with the cloud, and then that kind of meditation I was getting, remembering it. So, so that somehow it came. I can, but before also I used to feel this kind of pulsating feeling on my Agya chakra, but it comes very often. But then when you concentrate there, it comes more often on that chakra. But then what I feel is I came back one full circle where I started.
Yeah, yeah. Every one of us are coming to the same circle only.
So, yeah, so I am circling in that also. It's what I feel. So, so now I need to see what I should do. So then I was thinking, so the circling is happening because all that yama and niyama is not established properly.
Correct.
So that's the reason that the same whatever the progress. Initially, I think when we start, the progress will be fast.
After that, we'll slow down.
After that, it'll be the more or less the same thing. So we cannot progress because of this impurities in the mind.
Yes.
And now we need to see how we will have to implement this yama and niyama or whatever, shama, dhamma, sadhana, chatushtaya, all that. So I'm just trying to see how to bring it into practice. And sometimes it is not that I can remember or during the full day and each and every moment that I should observe it. That's not because when you start work, it is there in back of my mind, but then it is not like that. Sometimes I forget also. So it is not continuous, I feel. At least the first yesterday you were talking about you need to know where you stand, where you have to improve. So which one, and you are able to get that very correctly, Vilas, for yourself. So this is where you have to work on. So unless and until we observe continuously, we will not be able to even identify where we need to work on.
Very true.
So that's what I am attempting to do. But then there are so many things parallelly I'm trying to do. So not in terms of, I'm not talking about spiritually, but otherwise, work-wise, the house-wise, and many other things. So it is not possible that you remember full time that you have always been that Brahman consciousness. So you have to keep resting yourself there. And from that perspective, you have to do. So that you have to have a feeling that you are not the one who's doing. So that is something which has to come. So that is where, and then when any instances happen, how your mind reacts. Does it run away in different directions with different thoughts, or are you able to hold it? So this is something which I am not able to do continuously. So in between I remember, but then before I never used to remember actually, but that at least is a slight improvement. So I'm just trying to see how to reach there and by different means. But then I'm also not putting that much of effort.
Correct. See, the thing is this way, Lata. After yesterday's, day before yesterday's experience, or yesterday early morning experience, if I were to take, while we are talking, if we are dead in this body and we move to another body, that seriousness has to be there. That don't seem to be there with all of us. Because there is always a presumption is that I am too young to die and I am still in my 40s or 50s or whatever. I still have my family and this one, that one, job is there. So all that is what mind will do. Because it conditions itself to believe that what it is experiencing right now is the reality. While it is not. So unless we get into the serious state that what if the breath is not there next moment? What if I am taken to hospital? What if I am on a ventilator? What if that I can't even think anything else other than this family or the death which is coming in next 5 minutes or whatever that is, and I'm not able to do anything, helplessly lying on the bed. What is that can be done? If we can get that seriousness, and everything will wait. Since we don't have that seriousness, this can take its own sweet time. Now when we have this other things which are really required, then staying in the Brahman state is not possible, because you have to give yourself up to be in that, or you have to give up Brahman to be in this. You can't be in both at the same time. So we all, since we have never seen what is Brahman, how that would be, how, what is the meaning of surrender there is, or whatever we have understood so far, we tend to believe that there is time. There is absolutely good amount of time before we get into that kind of practice, and I am not presently ready for it. So whatever best I can follow through intellect, I will do it. So our progress will be very slow. It will be there. It will be better than any other person, but definitely cannot get into self-realization also. Unless we see everything is a process, which we don't see it, that is another problem. That there is no self-realization either. So what we are talking are two things. One is self-realization, another one is liberation. At least self-realization means that you don't exist. That should happen. And that itself doesn't happen. So we are bound by all kind of things. Let's say, like one of my friend had come yesterday. So he was telling to me that when a person is deceased, he is feeling palpitation in the heart, or he's having a headache, or he's having giddiness, or something like that. Now, the first thing would be to attend to that rather than worrying over Brahman or anything else. I said, yes, you are absolutely right. But when the person knows it is a process, definitely he will just apply whatever is required to that rather than worrying over on why is he facing in that way. So this I am the body consciousness is going to be there, even though we might see that this body is filthy and it has lot of dirt and this and that. It is intellectually acceptable. Yes, we can see, but when a problem comes in the body, pain is there, and it is an excruciating pain. So that being there, how can a person really think it is a process? So that is the whole problem, what we are trying to see. For that to go away, the yama and niyama has to be perfected. So whether we follow Patanjali and we have yama and niyama, or we follow Buddha and then we have the 10 immoral removed, or we follow Shankara and have the 9 things what he explains there. If those three, or whichever path we have taken, if those moral values are not completely established, then it will not work. So this is what it is. So, Lata, the thing is, we can go to a certain extent, but then after that, we cannot proceed further. Reason being, this becomes a hindrance. These moral values not being implemented becomes a hindrance. So, it will not allow us to proceed.
Mm.
That is for sure. So, what generally people do in this particular case and is to give up everything and do this and again try to come back and start working. Just they have to spend time in the samsara. Doing both things at the same time will not happen. So, for a householder, it will be a challenge. And we can't quit the householder life and go. That also is not possible. So, we are stuck in the samsara. Maybe,
Yeah, so you're in a hopeless situation.
yes,
So we're almost concluding that the other things, meaning when we have to leave and go, it is only our state of mind. We cannot depend on let something come to a stage and then I leave and go.
No,
That will
correct.
not. That
Correct.
will not complete. It all depends on when we'll. Because I see the people whom we are referring to, meaning as people whose path we are trying to follow or we are trying to understand, they are all people who have left and gone. None of them, even whether we talk about Bhakti Marga or this Jnana Marga, all of them have left the regular samsara to move into this one.
Correct.
I feel, that is what I always, there is always this fight in me. Is it possible that we are staying in this? We can be spiritual, but liberating ourselves, is that possible?
Liberating is not possible, Padmashri. The self realization is possible. That is possible.
That is possible, yeah.
Liberation.
Yeah, that is why. So we had discussed this before also, the same topic. And that's the reason I went and got this Lahiri Mahashaya's biography. I've not finished reading. So he was a householder. He had a wife, he had kids, and he's the one who popularized this Kriya Yoga again. It is said that after Krishna, he's the one who did this propagation of Kriya Yoga. So that's the reason I want to read it. So how he has been in the householder, even though he has a household, how he was managing both together. So there was one instance which I told to Vilas also. So yeah, he had many sons and daughters. I think I forgot how many, but then one of his daughters, she was married, but then she came to his house because she was unwell. She was having diarrhea or something, and her mother was telling Lahiri to give some medicine because otherwise she will die. Initially, he was not paying much attention, but then since her mother was asking so much, he gave some. I forgot what it is, but some simple thing. He said you give her this, and she will be all right. And then that mother was not very confident, so instead she gave some medicines which the doctor gave. And then after in the night or sometime she passed away, or some days passed away. And then, even during that time, Lahiri Mahashaya was sitting in that same house and discussing Bhagavad Gita with a set of disciples. And then, after some time, there was one big wailing happening inside from the inside the house. And then, all these people who came to listen to him was telling he was telling, yeah, maybe her body is being taken to the crematorium. That's why people are crying. So then somebody asked him, isn't this not affecting you? It's not impacting you. So he said, there is an impact. It is like you are having a marble stone and something is coming and hitting. So in that marble, whether any mark will be left or not, some will break, some will not leave any mark. It is like that. So that was his answer. So even during that time, when his own daughter is passed away, he was unmoved, being a householder. So that's the reason I was wanting to read that book. So, and then Vilas has also sent me the Kriya Yoga book. So I'm just trying to. Normally, I don't read both books together, but I'm trying to read both together. So I'm not making progress with both.
Okay. See,
and
yeah.
and also he has mentioned many of his experiences and inferences. So it's also, and it may be that he had his son had 26 diaries which he has written and kept. So from using that as a basis, this book has been written. So his experiences. So I was curious to see which kind of experiences you get first. So that part also I was sending to Vilas. So initially, one place I saw that when you start your practice, and if you are attached to any personal deity, you will start seeing the visions of that deity, or you will start seeing the visions of some sages, some celestial beings, and some such thing. Whatever visions I used to get. So then it says that it means that you are making progress, but this is not the reality. Even though this is an impression, what do you say, created by the mind using that consciousness. So one drop of consciousness, that is where it is, and these false forms are being shown. So the same thing is written in that book also.
Correct. So you're right, Lata, in one way that if somebody becomes highly dedicated and if the environment is proper, see, two things should happen. One, the punya phala or the good deeds should be so much that the environment itself is so proper and this person is able to concentrate. What if that doesn't happen? Meaning there is neither an opportunity nor he is able to do anything about it. Meaning, let's take our life today. Yes, there is opportunity to do, but it's not full opportunity. So we have jobs on hand and we have to do the family work and all of that. Now, how do you get time for this? In the case of Lahiri, he has spent all his time on this, did not care about what happens to his family.
He had a full-time job.
I know
also.
that he had a full-time job, but then how he has worked, he has not put it there, right?
Yeah, but then he was supported by the other Babaji, and then somehow he used to work some magic and used to give him conducive postings
No,
in different places, I think.
Correct. Initially itself, he had these experiences in his life, and then he was able to appear in two places at the same time.
Yes.
So that kind of thing we have not yet got, right?
Yeah. No, he would have been some kind of advanced being. So
Yes.
who came to with the purpose of propagating Kriya Yoga. It's not that
yes,
he is a householder, he worked himself and then got liberated.
Correct. So it's like Yukteswar
But
Giri.
he also mentions in this age, if you read his biography, he says householders are also possible to reach, and then that will be, it's not and what his thing is that nowadays, if you become a sannyasi, somebody has to provide for you, right?
Correct.
And somebody has to work and give things, so that is very difficult in this age. So everybody has to earn for themselves and not dependent on others for your food and all that. So in this age, so he says householders is we have to do both together.
That is correct. From his viewpoint is correct. If you take after the student of Lahiri Mahasaya,
Yeah.
Yukteswar Giri.
Yes.
He was also able to, after learning Kriya Yoga, he was also able to appear in two places at the same time and all that.
Yes.
So basically, what should happen here is that you should be able to be working in family life, and also you should be able to do your progress by being aloof.
Yeah.
In DVG's Mankutimmanakagga also he talks about that one. ಬೇರೆ ಒಂದು ಕೋಣೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಅಂದ್ರೆ make another room. So it is like staying in one room for some time and staying in another room full time, meaning that is the spiritual room that is there. Is
Correct.
whatever you have to do in the samsara you do, but that is like staying in one room. But then you always have the other room where you leave everything and then stay in that room. But this they say, but the point is that there are certain things when you're living in this room and the kind of nature of work that you're having, are you without creating any what do you call not bondage, the result of your actions will always be there. It becomes a karma when you're in the first room where you're talking about office, say when you're telling strategy, when you're telling competition, when you're talking about how you have to do something in such a way that it is good for the company. So when you do all those things for somebody's sake, you're doing it, but still it is, you're creating karma is what I feel. And it is without karma to do only that kriya is so difficult without having your mind totally involved in those kinds of things. So what I feel is if your nature of job was in such a way that you were cooking for somebody and then putting it, meaning if your nature of job was like that, perhaps the attachment or what do you call the kind of work that you choose also depends is what I feel. Meaning when you are living like this, when you want to attain liberation, the kind of work you choose also is very important is what I feel. Even if you feel that it is only for the sake of for the sake of those four necessities that are there, food, water, food, shelter, medicine, two, three necessities that are there. If we are going to do some work for that, the nature of work also should be something which is unconnected to anything, meaning it should not be connected to your mind and heart is what I feel.
That is right. So now what to do? We are now stuck like this. What is a suggestion? What would be the best thing to do?
So in that book also, so now I'm kind of we have started with we are not making progress because yama and niyama is not established, or sadhana chatuštaya is not established, then moral values are not established. So if you wait for starting the practice after all these is established, that also will not happen. So in that book which I was reading, Lahari Mahashaya's book, there also it is mentioned niyama has to be established, but then you start doing the practice and then you slowly start, you will get to know how to establish this yama and niyama. So both start together and then over a period of time it will get established is what it says. So maybe at one point of time, so we are our minds are not yet ready to leave things and go. So but when you continuously keep on practicing, at least attempt to participate. I know it is not so easy, but at least try to participate as much as possible. Then in one point of time your mind will become mature. Maybe it will be in this life or it could be in the next life. So that's the thing. So just because we feel that in this householder life we will not be able to reach the ultimate state or whatever, we shouldn't be stopping it. So you should continue doing it as much as possible, and then all the other things will build up. Then probably that urgency will also build up. At least if you see once or a glimpse, that's what the scriptures also say, then you will get hooked to it.
Yes, the problem is that when it gets hooked to it, you will start to leave everything.
Yeah. So that automatically happens.
So now it becomes like a chicken and egg story. Unless you leave, you will not see. Once you see, you will leave.
Yeah, correct. So I think we should continue doing whatever we are doing. And as much as that's what I was trying to do. I am just trying to, it's not that I am successful. For every thing I am doing, or at least I should start doing something throughout the day and not only during those meditation time. So that's what I am trying to. Whenever it's not that I remember all moment to moment to moment, but whenever I remember, so then probably over a period of time, after some 1 or 2 years, then probably it becomes more and more and more. What do you say? Frequent.
So here is one thing which I can suggest. Maybe I don't know how far it will help you, but it is helping me tremendously. It's like this. So when you wake up, open up your eyes and you brush your teeth and all that happened, you start setting your yama and niyama in like 15 minutes. If you are following Patanjali or the sadhana, the Chatustaya, try to establish it for the day. Like this, I will be having Viveka today about what is real and what is unreal. And Vairagya, like that, Shama, Dama, Uparati, Titiksha, all of that. Okay. Or if you're going by Yama and Niyama, then the person will say that today I will start with Ahimsa. So let me not torture myself in any given way. And also not do it for somebody else. So like that till he comes to Yama, that what I can say, Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, Aparigraha. So he will not possess anything for today, meaning he doesn't feel that he is possessing anything at all, be it himself or others or whatever. All possessions are given up. Then Shaucha, Santosha, Swadhyaya, Tapaswadhyaya, Ishara, Paranidhana. So let me establish it like that. So he needs to close his eyes, contemplate for 15 minutes or half an hour in the morning, and do his normal activity, whatever he is doing. As far as he can remember, it is okay. Meaning, right now I remember to be having brahmacharya, but I don't really do brahmacharya. That's okay. But there is an observer. We can make that Brahman observe this mind. Slowly, what happens? That means, in the end, night before he going to sleep, he can re-evaluate how much of that was taken care. Meaning, how much he has been able to establish. Let us say, morning I wanted to be in Ahimsa, and suddenly something appeared and I was in anger or some frustration or whatever it is. These are himsa for me. Why? Because it is increasing my blood pressure, it is also increasing the pace of my breathing is changed, and it is putting me in an anxious and a stressful environment, which is not the state of the Brahman. So that is gone. So I am now in himsa. Let us say I tell some lies here and there just to protect myself or my family or whatever it is. Not really bad lies, but some lies here and there. So in the evening, I can reflect upon that. Oh, I told lies of this. Not making myself feel guilty or anything like that, just observation. That this is what I had set up and this is what is the end result. So if I can do that for another half an hour or 15 minutes, so then this observer and observing effect will start to take place. Slowly that aspect will start to reduce, provided you have decided on what path you want to pursue. If you take many paths, it's not going to work because it becomes totally muddled up, confusing and all that. So we need to find whether you want to go by Bhakti Marga, where you surrender to the reality and continue from there, or you want to be in Jnana Marga and start the Jnana through setting up of moral values. In Bhakti, advantage is that since the person surrenders, he fears the God. So morality gets established. Otherwise, he cannot see the God whom he is trying to pray. So again, he has to keep on correcting the moral values. Here again, the person should start with moral values to get the jnana. So this is what is working for me. 15 minutes in the morning when I go for a walk in the morning on the terrace, I establish whatever the morality I need to establish for the day and keep on evaluating whether that is happening or not. So instead of evaluating once in the night, what I'm doing is every 2 hours I'm checking what is the state of my mind. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I forget to do it, sometimes I even forget to check it up in the night. That has happened. So what is the end effect of not doing it? It gets delayed, that's all. Meaning the progress halts. So whenever I have put my morality at a compromise, the experiences have not happened. Whenever I have not compromised on the morality, and like what happened yesterday or day before yesterday or some other days, these experiences are happening because the morality is high or the moral values have become very high. So this you can do morning and evening, or morning, afternoon, evening, then every 2 hours, then every hour, then you can come to every moment. Then the mind gets conditioned in a proper way to reflect that consciousness.
Yeah, that's good.
My understanding, Vilas, is that one is that watching the neutral sky and the birds and all that, daily 30 minutes, 45, that itself is a good meditation because that time we forget all other things.
No, that is correct, but
that is one thing. And other, like, you should have good sleep for whatever, for morning, good energy. Early bed and early rise will help. And then morning and evening, that sunset, sunrise, watching itself, the nature itself, all other negative thoughts, they go away because we don't get that chitta clearing is easy because of these two natural things, what is happening. Then yes, we have our culture to say that morning sitting in a puja room or doing something, that is also chitta suti. Then we should really enter into what you are doing it. Visualization, feel yourself. That should happen throughout the day, but we are pulled because of these vishayas, so many vishayas, office and family and social. And whenever we go to those vishayas, we should divert ourselves back to this one. That is one thing is possible during our professional journey. And what I heard during the Kali Yuga is the easiest thing to reach the God, because one step going to God is God will come to you 10 steps. But Treta Yuga and all, the journey was very long to reach that spirituality. Now it's easy. That's what I heard reading through books. But whenever our chitta is clean, feel very light or free, and those moments are really the great moments. The reason why they are light is we are not involved in what you call in creating problems for others and too much of greediness, and we don't expect anything from others. That itself is a very good vrita. So combination of all these, I feel that what is possible for us to achieve. Little bit study, listening, practicing. But to really go, practicing like you, then we have to really leave something, and we have to invest our more time only for this. If you ask me, is it possible? Very much possible. But why we don't do it? Insecurity of our, we have to live till long, right? We don't want to bring our economic condition below at any time. There we are doing some compromises, my feeling. See, if you have to work for 8.5 hours office, If you're able to manage, great. There are some people that do it. But some people, we spend more time because more you work for office, naturally that personal space is gone. And you're compromising your personal life. So that is also we are not able to do, because then again we want to keep our social or our commitment as a highest priority compared to the spiritual journey. There I think our ajnana or our ignorance is not helping us, because still we are committed more and more, because of which we are doing a lot of compromise. Family, because we don't give time to family issues will be there. So the balancing of our work life is very important. Work life, personal life, and all that. I felt without balancing, we cannot get the time for doing this practicing. And to do balancing, you need punyam. Because even if you try to balance, suddenly something will come to you and it will take you a lot of bandwidth. Somebody is not well, some special situations. But COVID has really positively helped us for spiritual seekers, because our social contact is reduced, going out is reduced, and inward journey is the best time. Simply, some talk.
No, this is correct, but the thing is, what we are all missing totally is establishing morality. Without that, the progress cannot happen. See, the birds, what you see, or the sky, or whatever, that is very temporary. It is again sense oriented, but it is a better sense than the other five senses. But definitely, it is still a sense oriented, or it's a sensory experience. If we have to have a non-sensory, non-changing experience, then moral foundation has to be put. So not to compromise the office life and family life, not doing that, what one need to do is to take one of the yama or niyama or whatever we want to. So first and foremost, we need to agree on a path. That's the first thing we need to do. Whether you want to follow Viveka Chudamani, or you want to follow Patanjali, you want to follow this or that, that has to be very clear. This is what I am going to follow, and there ends it. Not many paths. Okay, this is the first thing. So if we were to put step-by-step approach, this is how would work. Knowing is okay. That is, I can know about Bhagavad Gita, I can know about Viveka Chudamani, then I can know about Patanjali, then I can know about Buddha teaching, then I can know about Jain and this and that. Just as a knowledge base to develop is good, because the Shravana part will help. Okay. So now, having understood which path to take, so first I have to mentally agree on the path, and I know that it is feasible, possible, and attainable in this life. That's the second thing I need to do. So first thing, I need to agree on the path. Second thing, I need to reflect upon whether that is achievable in this life, because I don't have an idea how the next life is going to be and what opportunity are going to get, in what situation I will be in. Considering all those factors, I don't want to waste my time of looking at next life when I can try to do in this life. So that commitment has to be developed. This is the second step. Having understood the first step and the second step, now I need, based upon that, I need to establish moral values. Whether I do it on a daily basis, all of them, or I do day by day one of them, it's my personal choice. But I need to do that. Let us take example is that I have a tendency of over speaking. So I've identified that I have a tendency of over speaking. So I need to know how to stop over speaking. What is the meaning of over speaking? Is that talking about worldly affairs, whether it is on a related to country or to a continent or to the state or to politics or to games or this or that, or about somebody talking on his back or whatever it is, whether he's a politician or is a dramatist or is a film actor or is my own colleague or my own family member, like my brother or sister or whatever. So I have a tendency of over speaking. So I need to set a target. Like by this weekend, I will give up this habit of over speaking. So I will not do that. So with that, I will start cutting it off. So whenever the habit of over speaking comes, I watch it over and then reflect upon why I want to over speak. Stop that over speaking. If this week doesn't happen, next week, by next weekend, I should be ready. So like that, I managed it. Let us say, and after that, it has literally gone away. Then I need to take the next one as a priority, just like we do this sprint planning or scrum or whatever. Like we have the product backlog, and this is the backlog. So first is over speaking, then can be fear, then can be anxiety, then can be worry, then can be non-truthfulness, can be like that. I can keep on putting whatever I have, like I get angry, so I can put anger as one of it, or I get into jealousy, I can put that to work. Like that, I get a list of to do, and I need to put a date, start date, end date. Okay, today I'm starting it, end date when I think is possible to remove. So with this approach, what happens is, before I get into meditation and other things, I have put morality in first place, or like what Lata is saying in terms of Lahari Mahasai, talking about that you do both of them together, then there is a problem. The challenge here is not all of them can do both of them together, meaning to say that you establish morality as well as you practice on spirituality. Both are difficult, because let us say I want to sit for meditation and a hindrance comes. The hindrance is coming because of moral value not being there. So I will not be able to get the fruit what is expected at that point in time. So I have to go back and correct that. It doesn't mean that it will happen right there. It will take time. So it depends on the state of that person, and also various other factors including punya. Then only this will work. So we can do both of them together, you can do one of them however it is, or you can do it in family life or giving a family life, whatever the process one is planning to do. This is the third important thing to do, is to establish moral value. Fourth one, he has to contemplate through meditation only. There is no other way of doing it. So he has to sit, he has to observe his breath, he has to see what is coming, he has to keep on observing and observing and observing. Then these tendencies will go away, making it much purer and purer. Then again he has to come out of that meditation, start studying. Once he studies, again he goes back and meditates. Now we can say 8.5 hours working, so how can that be possible? Yes, it is not possible. Now what he should do is, he should only work out on establishing moral values in work. This becomes the Kriya Yoga actually. He is doing the Karma Yoga to the best, meaning whatever has to be done at that point in time is doing, is not worrying over the later part of it. This is what we all can do, considering that we have to work, have an economic comfort, or maintain the economic comfort and all that. So we can implement the moral aspect to ourselves in the job. Now let us say for some reason we have to tell a lie or do something, manipulate, because you can't be really doing without that. Then we have to accept to that okay, my progress will be slow because I am compromising now on this aspect because I need my salary or revision or promotion or whatever it is, and that doesn't come free. That comes with some tag where you can't be directly communicating with the stakeholder saying that this is what has happened. You have to color it, you have to tune it in a different way and make it look that we are in charge, and we don't allow that other party to come to know what is really happening. So that we have to take, and that will create a hindrance for sure. So now we have to evaluate between the job life and this hindrance, which one. So there would be a compromise. So the moment we have a compromise, it means that this progress what we have made is going to either regress or it will be there wherever we have left. This is one bad thing about doing many things at the same time. Unless we are as lucky as Lahiri Mahasai, who for whatever reason could get all the right thing working for him wherever he wanted himself to be transferred. He was transferred, he was getting everything. Yes, Padmashri, you were wanting to talk something.
No, what I was saying is if doing this job and I don't do it correctly for this one, then also I'm having karma. Meaning I'm saying I'm a person who thinks about spirituality, moral aspect. So I will be will actually be what meaning strategy. For example, I will not think about 5 years from now because I'm a spiritual person. So I'm not going to think about 5 years from now. Would be a wrong aspect for it, because then also I'm not. Meaning there I have the karma, that is papa will be accumulated because I am given the money for thinking 5 years ahead of me.
No, you should do that. You should think what
what I'm saying is being in the job and not doing it right because I'm spiritual is also leading to papa, is what I'm saying.
No, that is correct. So what I'm trying to say.
So compromise can only be evaded if you are not in this kind of a job.
Correct. So now the thing is, let us say in 5 years from now you are committing something, knowing very well you cannot commit. So now we have agreed to it, so you have to do it, or you have to get out of it, which cannot happen. So then somewhere something is going to get compromised.
Yes, that's what I meant. Meaning, if you're staying in this job and being spiritual, staying in this job because you don't want to compromise on spirituality, then also you will be compromising in one way or the other.
Correct. You're
paid for doing it and you're not doing it. So that way also you're compromising.
Correct.
And if you do it, then you're compromising in a different way, because in spirituality it's going against this one of not thinking about you're planning it only for the day. You're not even planning it. You're allowing things to go as it happens.
Correct. Very true. So that is the challenge, what everybody gets into. So the maximum we can do is self-realization. That is just a process. That itself is very good. So this is very complicated actually. What happened? Everybody became silent.
Okay. Srihari is yet to speak.
Yeah, Srihari, he has...
One funny thing, 80-20 rule is not applied here. 20% of the people in spirituality will succeed and get mukti. 80% they just should try.
No, actually, in one of the...
This is I think 0.8%. Or maybe less.
No, in one of the shloka of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, "You will not find even one person working for liberation."
Mm.
So it was true at that point of time, and it is true even now.
Yes.
One more thing. See, everything happens. We should not question what is this Atman, when it is started, when it is ending. These are all the wrong questions, my understanding. And we say that this prapancha, this samsara, is nothing but it is God's Leela. If God has decided this is his Leela, it will continue. That his decision is a much better than our decision, right? It will continue. But it is up to us to manage, some free will is given, to ensure that if you want to have a good life, do some punyam. So finally it will be punyam papam, punyam papam. So it will be, Leela will continue throughout till Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, till Laya. After Laya, we don't know what is going to happen.
Correct.
If you apply this theory, that is more practical, is what I understand. Practical means what we see around. Otherwise, so many people would have got already, liberation. When you look at them, you definitely feel, yes, he is in the liberation path. But in Kali Yuga, we see more people are attracted to this Leela path. Ethics and ethical or unethical and all depends. For example, this soldier killing a person is ethical. This lion going eating another animal is ethics. But if you do it, then it is unethical. These are all relative definitions. If you take that theory, you be happy. We know that Shanti, Chitta and all that, we know very well that we can experience. Beyond that experience itself is much, much beyond your reach. How many people get first rank out of 12 lakhs in IIT JEE? Only one person, first rank. It's like that. And everybody trying for that first rank, it will never happen because that is not how the whole world is designed. I'm just talking from other angle, little humor.
No, what you're saying makes sense. So now where do we conclude?
I think the spiritual is one thing, there is no conclusion.
There is only confusion rather than conclusion.
No conclusion. We have to reduce our confusion.
No, the thing is this way.
Because every day it pulls back, pulling this one back to you live another few days. Even almost you are some stage of death. Again, we take that person to the hospital, spending all your life and money. We know that is going to die, but still we do it.
Yeah, actually, karma and leela are very, very complex things. Okay, so
Maybe you can explain us. Karma we have understood. Okay, why don't you explain us Leela if you have some understanding? Why Bhagavanta plays this Leela?
no, it is not the Bhagavanta who is playing the leela. He has got nothing to do with leela. Number one. If that was true, then there is no Bhagavanta. Then there should be somebody else in his place. So whatever.
See, you said don't question that Srishti when it happened. Adi and Antya, for example, these 5 basic elements. Don't ask question. So there we have to stop. Yes, we should not ask question because there is no answer coming. Only after realization you may get. Okay, that is one assumption. But what is there in front of us is experience. We are experiencing that.
Correct.
And we feel like we want it. We want our body. Only thing is, only that time we cannot hold it because we will become young and then finally Ruddhapya and finally death. That is there, we know. We have no
control.
We have no control. Jatasya maranam dhruvam. The person who is taking birth, he has to die one fine day. That is the truth. That truth we have understood. But
no,
this Leela part is not understood anything.
Leela part is the one where if you really have understood that Jatasya maranam dhruvam, then the Leela is understood. Because that we don't understand that with birth there is death, there is Leela. Do we really agree that?
Yeah, see, here, if you go deeper, this is not under my control. If it is not under my control and it is there, means it is somebody's control.
No, that is
And who is that person is controlling it? You say that there is nobody.
No. Thing is this way.
Yeah.
First, we have to understand, like you are saying, there is nobody to control, which is true. So that means, am I agreeing that it is a process?
It's a process.
But we don't agree.
It happens.
No, we don't even agree to the process. We say that it is not a process, it's a person. None of the time, any one of us, even right now to talk, are aware that it is a process. I would always say, I am feeling hungry, I am feeling angry, I am feeling this, I am feeling that. Conventionally, we have to speak like that, it's perfect, agreeable. But we have not understood the reality. We have not understood that the Bhagavanta is the one which is making this happen. Do we really see like that?
That is what, it pulls us to that Bhagavanta every time, because there is some supreme power is controlling it. Even though, Advaitam says it is you, it is nothing, there is no other person. But the pull happens, it is somebody is controlling us. Because we wanted that to happen, not happening. We know it is because of our karma phala that happens. But even then, suddenly Bhagavanta comes in between.
No, the reason why it comes because we are muddled up in many ways. One is that we don't really believe in karma philosophy. We only believe in karma philosophy when things don't happen. Then we say it is our karma that it didn't happen.
Yes.
And we don't say that when it happens that it is due to the karma only it has happened. I'll give an example. Let us say, earlier times, few years ago, I used to visit Kabban Park. Okay. Now in Kabban Park, every Saturday, Sunday, they used to have this marathon, mini marathon, this one, that one, and a big marathon like 10K marathon and all that. Okay. Have you heard anybody congratulating their leg for the success? Have you heard anyone by chance saying that this medal should go to the leg?
No.
What if he can't run? What does he say? He will say, I wanted to run, but somehow my leg was not able to run. So he is disconnecting himself from the leg. Correct or wrong? How can he do that? Because he knows that he is not the body. And that is the reason he is able to do it. Very smartly we disconnect that part of the body. We don't look at it saying that whether it will feel bad for my statement what I have made. You see, whatever it is, whether you are able to walk, let us say, but you went to Kedarnath trek. If you were not able to climb up, would you not blame your leg or knee or whatever it is?
I blame all outsiders. My family not allowed, no office not given leave. Like that we stay blaming everyone.
No, not only that, you will also blame
Going
your
means
leg.
it is me.
No, you will also blame your leg.
Yes.
Now, when you climbed up, did you appreciate your leg?
No, we don't even care.
Now this is the fun. Now this is where the problem is. Whatever you are calling as Bhagavanta is that energy which is making you to do something. Okay, but we don't consider it. I will say I have done it. How much effort I put. I used to climb this mountain, that other mountain, and I used to jog for 30 kilometers, 40 kilometers in a day. And because I did all of that, my endurance level was good, and now I was able to climb. Fantastic. Did you really climb, or did your leg climb? Or did you run, or did the leg run?
Here the interesting principle is Ichcha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, and Kriya Shakti. You have Ichcha to go. I don't know from where that comes. I should go there. Then jnana, yes, how to go and all those calculations. Then finally, the kriya, it should happen. Everywhere you need that energy.
No, that is correct. So now, like that, Kanakadasa saying, Ni mayayolago ninnolu mayayo, this is exactly what it is. The maya here or the leela here is when the person is running, he thinks he is running. He doesn't think that it is a process which is running properly. He thinks he himself or she herself is doing it. But when the process fails, he blames the process. He doesn't blame himself for it, he blames the process. He says that hand was not able to move, leg was not able to move. I don't know what did I eat. Actually, I ate properly. This stomach here, it got upset. How can a stomach get upset? But can you tell me? Now you tell me, did you have any control on the eating itself, that okay, now stomach, listen to me, I am giving you this rice and sambar only, okay, because you cannot digest this, so only I am giving you this. Now if you ask me anything further than this, I will not give. No, whatever I want to eat, I will eat, and the stomach is supposed to digest. Now, how does it digest? It digests based upon the process. There is nobody to digest there. But I don't agree with it. I will say, I want to digest the food. Okay, please digest. Go ahead, digest now. Now, I don't know how to digest. So, now gas accumulated. What will happen? Now, the person will say, gas has accumulated. Why? You should be able to remove it, right? See, if I have eaten, I should be able to remove it. But why I am not able to remove it? And now why don't I go to the temple or that God and pray that, why don't you remove this from me? Is it possible? You tell me that. This is the Leela.
That is the lila.
This is absolute Leela. Now, how to come out of that Leela? First, understand everything is a process. There is no you in the body. Then only you can see consciousness. Otherwise, you can never see consciousness. So, basically, the consciousness is the one which is doing all of this. Now, unfortunately, the mind thinks it is doing it. So, it thinks it is the consciousness, which it is not. We can see it in anything we are doing today. Whether we call it as something as corona or rexona or this disease, that disease, or this is how it is, that is how it is, whatever it is. It is the mind fabrication. It doesn't know how consciousness works. It has no idea.